Back in '91, I spent a lot of time in the woods. I was hunting deer the way my father had taught me, the way we lived when I was a boy on the farm. We had chickens, a few cows, and lived off the land. My old man was tough as nails, and he showed me how to track just about anything with 4 legs and fur. He'd say, "You respect what you hunt, but you don't let it outsmart you." That stuck with me. So when I missed a shot earlier that evening at a big buck, the kind that'd fill our freezer for weeks, I wasn't about to let it slip away. My wife Claire always loved deer sausages, and I figured the reward was worth staying out past dark. The air was cold and the woods felt thicker at night. The moon hung low, casting long shadows through the trees. I could feel the weight of the missed opportunity gnawing at me, so I kept moving, hoping to find that buck again. I knew Claire was probably worried, but I told myself I'd make it up to her. She knew what it meant to me. As I moved quietly through the underbrush, memories of my childhood drifted into my mind. I could see the old farm, the rows of corn and beans, and my father's weathered hands, showing me how to follow tracks. "Patience," he'd say, and a sharp eye. I lived by that rule until that night. I spotted it again. The bulk of the buck stood perfectly still in a clearing, illuminated by the moonlight. It was even bigger than I remembered. My heart raced as I raised my rifle, finger brushing the trigger. But just as I lined up the shot, something startled it. The buck jerked, ears twitching, and then bolted into the trees. I didn't even have time to be mad. Something else caught my attention. A rustling sound, low and deliberate, just beyond the clearing where the deer had been. That's when I saw it. At first I thought it was another animal, but then the thing stepped into the moonlight, squatted, jerking, its limbs contorted in ways that shouldn't be possible. Pale skin glistened, almost translucent, as the moonlight reflected off it. There were patches of dark feathers scattered across its body, not enough to cover its skin, just strange tufts here and there. It sniffed the air, its head jerking like a predator tracking a scent. I stayed dead still. I knew better than to move. Whatever it wasn't like anything I'd ever seen. It crouched there, twitching. Then its head snapped in my direction, and for the first time I saw its eyes, black, soulless, and locked right onto me. I gripped my rifle tighter. I had one shot, just one. If it came at me, I had to make it count. The creature's body tensed, then with a violent leap it shot toward me. I squeezed the trigger, but everything blurred after that. I didn't know if I hit it, and I wasn't about to stick around to find out. I bolted, my heart pounding as I ran through the underbrush toward my truck about 1.5 miles away. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves felt like it was right behind me. I could hear it, wheezing, whispering, something unholy in the sounds. Sometimes it was behind me. Sometimes it felt like it was right beside me, unseen in the trees. My legs burned as I pushed harder, praying to make it out of those woods. Then I tripped. My foot caught on an exposed root and I went flying, my rifle skidding off into the darkness. I was furious with myself. That root. I'd passed it 12 times before and never tripped. I cursed under my breath as I scrambled to my feet, but my hip ached where I fell. Slowed me down, and that thing, whatever it was getting closer. I could hear it, closer now. The wheezing, the whispers. Panic surged through me and I pushed through the pain, finally seeing my truck up ahead. I fumbled with the keys, my hands shaking as the sounds got closer and louder. My breath came in ragged gasps as I threw myself into the driver's seat and jammed the key into the ignition. I tore out of those woods, the tires spinning in the dirt as I sped home. I didn't stop until I was in my driveway, panting, covered in sweat. I rushed inside and told Claire everything. But before I could finish, we both froze. There were noises outside, scratching, whispering, and the unmistakable sound of something being dragged around the house. Claire's eyes went wide, and then the baby, our son, started crying from his room. I ran down the hall, bursting into his room, and froze in the doorway. Standing there, next to the crib, was the creature, the same one from the woods. Its head snapped toward me, black eyes boring into mine. Before I could move, it leaped out of the open window and disappeared into the night. That was the last time I saw it, for a while. My wife left me soon after. She blamed me for bringing that thing back to the house. Maybe she was right. But I never stopped thinking about that night. Even now, years later, I hear it. The creaking, the whispering every night. Sometimes I wake up and find scratches and grooves in the floorboards, like something's been dragging its feet around the house. It's still out there. And I'm starting to think it's come back for me. Thank you all for tuning in to Cryptid Encounters. I truly appreciate your support in listening to these thrilling stories. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If there are any stories you'd love to see covered, feel free to comment below with your suggestions. Until next time.